Ooh, sure. You want to do the rebuild?
Yeah, let's go. Because the comment section have been going mad on this. Do an
Yeah.
Arsenal rebuild. Arsenal rebuild. Because we've been hinting that we're going to do an Arsenal rebuild. And we've
hmm
done a Tottenham one. So I think the Arsenal fans do deserve this one. And yeah, do you want to start here?
No, I want you to start here because I know you have a lot to say when it comes to
Well,
you like these rebuild scenarios. You
I,
really like these rebuild scenarios.
I
So
do. You know why? Because Arsenal needs a rebuild scenario. A team that
absolutely.
finishes eighth. Come on, you need to think things
Yeah.
out after you finish eighth. So leading on that, I'd like to say the first thing Arsenal should change is the manager. I don't think Arteta is the man, and I think Wenger looks like a genius next to Arteta, because Wenger was never given what Alex Ferguson was given, and Fabregas left, Van Persie left. All
Okay.
these big players were leaving, and Wenger just wants an investment. And Arteta, he got Aubameyang a contract extension. They bought Nicolas Pepe for the same amount as they got as United got Sancho. So all this bad management is now showing. And I am the my confirmation of Arteta out was when I saw that Saliba went on loan again. And
Yeah.
now I'm sure Saliba is going on loan because of Arteta. In my opinion, it's clear as day.
Hmm.
And my
And,
and it
and that's funny because in contrast, and I know you're going to go into who you think should be his replacement, but in contrast, it's hysterical because you asked me several episodes ago if I thought Arteta in or Arteta out. I said Arteta
mhm.
out. I've come to terms that it doesn't make sense to get rid of Mikel Arteta. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I've tiptoed around it for the last couple months, and I am not. Yeah, I get it. I'm not an Arsenal fan through and through. I don't watch them on an everyday basis, but I do believe continuity needs to be rewarded, and the positive of an Arteta or a system that he's trying to build, whether that's a 4-3-3, which he hinted at, or I think what he normally played was a
He'll
four
play
three
with
two
three
one.
center backs. Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays. He likes the three center backs because he
Okay.
just can't rely on one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is I went back and I was doing due diligence on this, and I've been reading into why Arsenal has gone the way Arsenal has gone, and this has been
Hmm.
over the last couple months. And there were articles 2 years ago saying Arteta needs to be trusted with a full scale rebuild, and it's like, what's happened since then? It's only gotten worse, and I don't see any building blocks except for like an Emil Smith Rowe,
Yes.
Gabriel at center back, Bukayo Saka, obviously,
Hmm.
Thomas Partey, but if you can keep him healthy, Bernd Leno, fine, keep him in goal. He's okay,
Hmm.
but there's so much dead wood there that they need to get rid of. I
But
don't think they have the time to do it all.
like
Torreira, Guendouzi, Bellerin, what do you do? You
like you
know?
said it there, the number one guarantee in any rebuild else I see out there and in the comment section for this video is any team that Arsenal has, Saka is mandatory to be on that team
I agree.
because he's a youngster. I know he's 19, right?
Mhm.
But he deserves to be a key starter at Arsenal right now. He's earned that spot, and not as a fullback, as a winger. Any rebuild that I see of Arsenal, you need to put Saka at the winger spot.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
big question about like where do you play him, right? So I agree with you. I agree with you.
for me,
Absolutely.
it's not a question anymore. But the tough thing here is Arsenal. If you're gonna sign big players like a Locatelli, that I'm sick of seeing Locatelli to Arsenal rumors. Because do I think Locatelli should go to Arsenal? I think he would rather go to Juventus instead of Arsenal. Do I think it would be a bad move? No, but I think he'd go to Juventus first. But I am excited that Arsenal are signing youngsters. Like I saw Nun Tavares, we mentioned previously in this episode,
Yep,
and I'm seeing a lot of Lokonga, which you're a big fan at
I
Anderlecht.
am.
He
Absolutely.
he gives me Pogba vibes.
Mhm.
He's a very Pogba-esque player. Like he uses his body a lot. He's got a very good passing ability. He
Yeah.
uses his body very well. He's
Yeah,
very
probably not
agile.
as technical in any way, shape, or form, but he is
Okay.
a very, very good player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but still, we see here a pattern that Arsenal is trying to sign young under 23 players and at a cheap cost. I think it's 15 million Lukonga, 8 million Tavares. So these are the signings that you do if you have no European competitions.
yeah,
They finished eighth. So they need to invest for the future. And my pick for mandatory buy that Arsenal needs is Alexander Isaac. I think regardless of any transfer they should do, they should aim their strengths to Alexander Isaac. Scandinavian talent, like just needs to have a team around him. And Saka, Martinelli, and Isaac is scary for me. And I think they'd have a better position in the future.
and if all of
Aubameyang,
mhm,
like the Aubameyang too. Like this should be the year that determines if Aubameyang stays at Arsenal, yes or no. I think
right,
he's earning 350 a week, 350k a week pounds.
chump change,
So that's a big wage for the club. So
yeah,
they'd even want him on a cheap transfer just to get rid of that wage and
yeah.
bring in a big top player at midfield, at center back too. Because
So,
this is something that's not mentioned. When you
right.
have a player like Aubameyang earning that, you're taking the slot to two other players that could be decently good too and performing on the same level.
Yeah,
So
or
yeah,
or youth players that might actually deserve a shot. But so you're saying Arsenal rebuild needs to start from the top down, not from the back up.
both. I think a manager like Jardine, like
Yeah,
I said for Tottenham, Tottenham didn't get him. I think Jardine would be a very interesting option. Uh, I don't know, but it's yeah. I think Conte. Why doesn't anyone get? I know he did a. He said he didn't want to coach for a year, but I think he just didn't get the right option, like the right deal. I just.
yeah. I mean, one of the tougher things that I've seen, just and again doing this research on it and going back and looking at all these people that Arsenal have been, and this was previous to confirmation that European soccer football. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, slipped up there. That European football was not, on the horizon, but they were linked, at least in the news. They were linked with Buendia. They were linked with Wijnaldum, Depay, Hakimi, right? Like you said, these are not the signings that are necessarily going to build for the future right now. And then you have to look also. I think you have to rebuild from the center. You have Partey. You have to figure out how to keep him healthy. But you have Torreira probably leaving. Guendouzi, I believe, is definitely leaving, probably to
Yes.
Marseille. Bellerin should potentially leave. I know he's not the midfield; he's a right back. But El Neni, potentially, I don't mind keeping him around. It makes sense. He's relatively tidy. He doesn't offer too much, but he does offer, I believe, structure. And then Shaka, who it depends on which Arsenal fan you ask. They either want to hurt him or hug him. I don't know.
He's
Although I
gone.
wouldn't.
He's gone.
He's definitely gone.
Yeah, he's gone to Roma, I think, and
Oh,
Guendouzi to Marseille.
I did hear that. I
So
just didn't know for sure. But that's a gaping hole. Who's in your midfield now? Who is
yeah.
in your midfield? You have Partey in the center. You have potentially Lukanga. I guess you could put Emil Smith Rowe
No.
at center mid. Do you move Ainsley Maitland-Niles into
They
center
need a
mid?
proper eight. They need a proper eight in
They
that
do.
position. And Lakonga, I think, would be a good substitute option.
Right.
But I'll leave it to you guys. Put it in the comment section down below. Who should be the eight that Arsenal get? Now
Yeah.
that we're 2 minutes in to finish the pod, like
But I'm
it's
gonna just name drop one more name because I think he should get a chance next year, at least a chance to soak up some minutes. You could have Joe Willock coming back, obviously
yes.
from Newcastle, but a chance to soak up some minutes. Put Miguel Aziz in.